Oh, then Parks and Rec. Oh, okay. That's good. I was worried. I don't know. Didn't want to suggest something that, you know. All right. Sounds good. I'll try to keep the coughing to a minimum. I might mute myself for a bit while you're instructing. Oh, it's not. I couldn't sleep, but yeah. Yeah, do you want me to check that out?
Ah, there we go. I think my mic was off. And yeah, if you have the link to the YouTube channel, and just go find the stream and see if you can hear me through that and see my screen.
Yeah, your
Uh,
screen's showing. I'm gonna mute real quick so I can see if I can hear you through this.
okay. Hello, hello, testing, testing. I am just going to find this ball rig to send to Caden.
All right, you sound great.
Okay. Thank you. Aw, thank you. Uh,
All right.
courses.
You know, it's great. The live feed showed up in well, it showed up in my YouTube feed.
Oh, just without
I
going to the channel
I didn't
yet?
have to follow the link. I was the third option in my feed. How cool
Oh,
is that?
sweet. It's it's suggesting things. Maybe other people will see it.
Yeah.
Basic ball rig. Okay, I think I found it.
You can't hear me chewing the gum or anything, right? I don't want to be making that noise.
I don't hear any chewing. No.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here after I click on Maya. Maybe at the end of this, I'll give you a sneak peek at the audio that I edited for
Okay.
for
For the
popcorn.
popcorn, yeah, I want to see it. I remember watching Noah showed me the first one.
All right, Maya, where'd you go? I'm gonna share now. Screen one, share. How do we get rid of this menu? Ah, okay. See it loud and clear. So
Hmm.
first thing is we want to reference the rig because have I talked about that yet? Referencing things. Basically, if you open up the ball rig or any of the character rig and you start animating it, what you're doing is you're adding to that file, and if you save it, then now the rig has animation data on it, so then you can't use that ball anymore.
Oh, right. The
Um,
import versus the referencing.
oh no, like if you just open the actual ball rig and start doing it. But if we import it, the difference between importing and referencing is importing brings the ball rig to be permanently part of that scene, and then if we if we edit it in the scene, and then later we want to update the ball, which not every workflow needs that, but let's say there's a case where you're animating a ball and then you're like, oh, I want to go update my rig so that I can have it be a soccer ball instead of a basketball now. And then you want to go back into your scene, or you want to update the curve on the basketball edge, to make it feel more like a round shape, like you were saying. You can do that in the rig and then go back into your animation file and it'll update it if you have it referenced. And so then you can use your newest basketball model.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So the importing, it puts it directly into the scene, and the reference is just like a link to it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for simplifying what I say.
Oh, I was,
No,
I mean, that
and
means even less because those are just two words I used, but
um, all right. So I referenced the ball in with the reference editor, right? I just used this little plus sign and searched for it. Um, for some reason, Maya 2025 has all these issues where like mine right now, the lighting is super bright and it's like blowing it out. So I have to go in here every time. And I'm sure there's probably a way to fix this so it doesn't do this automatically. Set the light intensity to 1. Now we're back. Like, now this is what the ball is supposed to look like.
okay.
All right. So let me show you what this rig consists of so you see what we're going to build at some point. So there's no bones. We basically have a get rid of, oops. Show all. It's not gonna let me show the deformer. Oh, there. I had a different.
That's funny. When I pulled mine up, I didn't have to change the lighting.
You did it?
Yeah. So we must have different settings or something.
Huh. Maybe mine's just broken.
Uh-huh.
Well, um. All right. So this is a lattice. This box. And if we, I'll just show you here. Oh, what am I doing? A NURBS polygon sphere. Okay, if I take this and do deform lattice, it creates a box, and you can change the numbers here on the side to how many divisions you want it to be. But then the cool thing about this is we can take these points on the lattice and move them around and just deform the object. So since the ball is just going to be deformed and stay a ball, like we're not going to, it doesn't have any arms or anything, so there's no real need for a bone. We can just take these pieces and like squish them around, but we're going to have controls that are moving these points around.
Okay.
So I have clusters that are controlling the top points and the bottom points. And then, yeah, it is pretty simple, like, but it takes a little bit of work in the node editor to set it up. And I wanted to save that because I'm so close to getting this intro to the node editor course thing out, and I wanted you to just be able to go through that. Um,
Okay.
so we're just gonna animate today. So to start out, let's start out with a bouncing ball where it just drops from the sky straight down and bounces on the ground. So if we take our transform control, which is this one on the floor, put it there. Let's see. Remember how I set this up. Okay, I can move this cog control and I can move it up and down. So on frame 1, I'm just going to lift it up. Frame, let's say 11, put it back down. And frame 21, I'll just put it back up. And those are all the keys that you need actually for the ball. And let me set this to be 21 frames. So if I push play, it's not going to look good, but this is all the keys that you need, and then we can go in and fix this in the graph editor. So we're just moving it up and down, and then we go to Windows.
Oh, I think I'm selecting the wrong thing. How do I move the ball itself instead of the controls? Or I'm not even sure what I'm moving.
Here, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, it's up.
Zoom. It's up. I guess I have to
Oh, do you not see?
unshare my screen every time, I think.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Okay, I see it.
Right. So I think I'm selecting the wrong thing, right? Because
We grab the
when I'm trying,
big arrow, the big red arrow thing around, and move that.
oh, okay. Here, let me get, so the red one is for moving the whole thing. What's this
That just
yellow one?
moves the middle of the ball.
Okay, so that's the deforming. Okay. All right, thanks.
I guess we could go through the controls.
Yeah,
Uh,
how did you set that up? I guess.
which
So that
part?
this red one always grabs, well, it moves it and then rotates the whole thing, it looks like.
Yeah, so all of the controls, all the other controls are just children of this red
This red
control.
one. Yeah,
So
because it
those
stretches them.
the the other controls, those like the yellow ones on top and bottom, and that arrow one in the middle that moves the middle stuff. Those control the actual vertices, the points on the lattice, and
Okay.
then I just have those controls being children of uh, the red one. So let's
So in this mode, we can't actually grab the object. Is that what it did?
yeah,
Or am I just,
I have that in a different layer. If you go
okay.
to your channel box layer editor, where did it even go? Your attribute editor is there on the right, but it looks different. Why don't you have a channel box?
Beats me.
Go to Windows. Um, let's see. Yeah, it's one of these. Maybe general editors.
There we go. Panel box.
Channel box. Yes, so see there at the bottom, those are
Oh,
the
I was
visibility
in, I was
layers.
in the do not touch layer.
Well, the on the do not touch layer, see how visibility is turned off, the V on the left,
Uh-huh.
um, and then the thing on the right is an R. That means it's in reference mode, so you're not
Okay.
able to select anything. So yeah, there's one layer for the ball geo and one for the stuff that I don't want the animator to touch, and So both of them are set to uh, R so that you don't accidentally select the mesh. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So let me.
So when I'm interacting on these layers, am I only interacting with one layer at a time, or am I interacting with both?
You're not actually doing anything if you select that. Like
Okay.
if you have it highlighted, then and you right click, then that's what these apply to. So if you have other objects in your scene that you want to add to that layer or things, but having these layers selected doesn't do anything in the 3D viewport.
Okay.
So
Cool.
they're just there. And you can turn them on and off. Okay, let me go back to sharing. So grab your that cog control, the red one, and set your keys. Go one on the ground, one in the air. Oh, let's start out within the air, so that the part where it hits the ground is in the middle. And on that part, go back to your channel box wherever it went and make sure it's all the way at 0. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. That's actually everything that you need. So I'm gonna share my screen now and find Maya again. All right, are you seeing this? Did I lose you?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I was coughing.
Oh.
I'm here.
Um, okay, so now we just open up Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor, grab that red control, and this is the Y translation curve, right? So as time is moving forward, then the ball is going down and then back up. So the shape of this curve is what we want to play with, so that as the ball hits this point, it's a fast in and then a fast out, and that'll make it feel like a bounce. So if I right click and change this to weighted tangents, I can just grab this. I'm holding down shift, middle click, and I can drag. I'm just going to shrink that all the way down. And then grab these two and stretch them out like that. And this is the shape of a bounce curve.
Okay. Sorry, how did you? Oh, there we go. I got a tangent now.
So now if I push play, then it looks like that.
You said you just did shift drag on the tangent?
With
I
with
think I'm in the
with
wrong menu.
with the middle click.
Ah, middle click. Yeah, I'm still not. Um, Try
So
again, I guess.
did you select the half of the tangent? If you select the full tangent, then it doesn't work. Oh,
Oh, that's gonna be why.
and you need to be in hit W probably to let's see. So you still want to be in the move tool, like with W.
Yeah. Um,
It's
I
the
can't. I can only select the full tangent. I can't select half of it. Um,
well, just grab one of the points. Like there's 2 points. There's a point on either end, and it's gonna move the whole tangent. Does that make sense? Let me show
No,
you.
mine are
Okay,
just.
show me what you're doing. I'll stop sharing one second. Um,
Do I have to go back to change to the move tool? Is that why it won't work? No, I was in move.
oh, you didn't change it to weighted tangents. So select the curve and right
Oh
click
boy.
it and do weighted tangents.
Okay. Do I need to undo all this real quick? Oh, it doesn't want to let me. Is there no?
Oh, you have extra keys too, but you only needed. We're only
Yeah,
needing one bounce.
yeah.
Uh, okay, up at the top, uh,
Uh-huh.
the very top of the screen, see those little toothpick looking pictures? Pick the one that's a horizontal line. There, that
Nice. Okay.
flattens everything and puts it back.
All
Okay,
right.
so
So this is what we were looking
shrink
for.
that one all the way down, and then you want to grab, just delete those two at the end for now. And then on these ones, just grab them and make them a little wider. And if you do it at the same time, then it'll feel more consistent. Yeah, something like that. So then go push play in your viewport.
Oh man, I need to get rid of this one sec. Little zoom window. Nice. Okay.
All right, so that's your first ball bounce. Now,
Okay.
um, now we could add a little bit of squash and stretch to it. And so let me share again. Also, I set mine so that this number, like the frame limit, ends at 21, since that was my
Oh, okay.
bounce. Then if you push play, it'll repeat. So here, let's see, these top and bottom ones, these are the squash and stretch controls. If you move them together, then it just moves the whole ball. Or you can
Oh, okay.
move the top independently or the bottom independently. So as it hits, okay, when it's at the top of the bounce, we want these to be keyed. So I'm just gonna hit S, key them, because I want the ball to be shaped round at the top of the bounce. And then as it falls, it's gonna stretch. So let's say here, um, gonna stretch a little bit, maybe 0.5 or -1, and this will be 1. I just want them to be somewhat even. So as it's falling, it's going to stretch. And then I'm going to grab those and copy this to frame 12. And then on frame 11, when it hits the ground, we want this to be squashed. So set that to 0, and then set this to something in there. So now push play. Oh, you know what I did? Animation editor, graph editor. I'm getting it.
How do you make it so that um so like I changed it, but it changed it the whole time. It didn't save, I suppose, is what I messed up on. Let's see.
It didn't save, like the pose didn't update or something.
Yeah, let me try
Like,
that again.
look, I
Let's
forgot
see.
to set a key at the end, so when it comes up, it's stretched. So I need to take these and set a key at the end.
You're just hitting S to save the key, right?
S, and then I have auto key turned on, which is this button right here. So the way that auto key works is if I actually move something, then uh, then it will up. Like, see, look at right here. I've got the translate Y, and it turned red because that's what I moved, and so it sets a key on just that instead of keying everything.
Oh, I don't have, okay, one sec. I don't have that slider. Let's see. The range slider, right? Let me grab that.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. So I think I do have auto key on, but when I hit S, it doesn't seem to save anything to the timeline.
Here, 1 second. Do you wanna? I'll unshare mine so I can see what you're doing. Just, all right.
Hmm,
I always gotta find. Oh, we're gonna die in just 2 minutes exactly. But let's
nice.
see if we can. Okay, I can see your screen now. So show me what's going on.
Right. So I've got these selected, and then I hit S to save, but it doesn't seem to be saving anything down there. I don't know. Anyway, on frame 10, right? Come up and stretch this. I don't know. We'll throw it at 2. And then if I try to save it, doesn't want to, it just doesn't seem like anything's happening when I click S.
Yeah. So move to frame.
So it just, yeah, nothing saves.
You hit.
So then,
So just select that top arrow
yeah,
and hit S.
yeah, my S key isn't doing anything, which is really weird because it did when we moved the ball up and down.
Maybe it's stuck. Sometimes keys can get stuck and act weird and not react. I try holding down, like try just tapping S a few times. Hit it with a bigger hammer, you know. So, you, like
Yeah, it
sometimes,
doesn't,
sometimes Alt, Control, and Shift get stuck on my keyboard, and if I just tap them a few times, then it loosens it up. Um, but if not, then we got to figure out
is
what's.
it because this thing's up, the graph editor? Would that affect it? I assume not.
No, it shouldn't have anything to do with it. Change your time slider to be 21 instead of 100. No, right in the. Oh, whoops. Okay, gotta get him back. Zoom ran out. Give me just a minute. Okay, dokie. Let's see. think I've lost him. So let's just look at this bouncing ball for a second. What I did here is grabbed the transform control and just made sure both of these were on the same height by, like, if I have them. Oh, he's texting me. If they're different, like this one's at 21 and this one's at 40, you can see the number right here, 34. So if I grab them both and type a number in here, like 40, then it puts them at the same height. Clips. Oh, I was in the wrong. I'm sorry. Hello.
Welcome back.
We're back. Sorry, I was in the wrong. I was in the wrong Discord server. So
Oh,
I was like,
you were in Skomachi?
yeah. I was just trying to kill time and showing that if you have, say these are on. You don't see my screen. What am I doing?
Hmm.
Can you activate sharing?
Oh, right. Oh, I got to do it from the other one. That's why. Uh, Shoot.
Did you find it?
No, yeah. Did you send a request or something?
It won't let me send a request. There's just
Oh, I got to go like find a setting or something then, huh?
there's the share setting, like the share. If you hit, there should be a little arrow next to it that says turn on for multiple users or something like that.
Yeah, I think the layout's different on the iPad. There's nothing here. Let's see.
Oh,
Uh,
or you could just watch the YouTube stream.
Man, what's going on here?
Do you see the share button?
Yeah, there's nothing under there. I'm trying to find it in the settings.
Hmm.
Heck. Man, you'd think I'd figure out Zoom by now. All right, let's see what happens if I do this. All right, well, let's me do it. Uh,
It just says the sharing is not turned on.
yeah,
Turned on.
yeah.
Who is here? It says there's, besides me and you, there's another person watching. If you have any questions about this stuff, you can type them in the chat, and I'll try to keep track of that to answer questions. Whoever you are, somebody.
All right, you should be able to share now.
Okay. Sharing screen one. Okay. Yeah, right here with if these keys are different, um, right here in this little box that's showing the value. Can you see that? It's super tiny.
Yeah.
But if you grab both of them and type a number in there, like 35, then it puts them both at that number. You can do that same thing with, like, if you have a lot of bounces, you don't have to make sure that every bounce is at 0 over here. You can just grab all those points in the graph editor and type 0, and then it'll put them all on the ground. So same thing, just a different place to do it.
Oh, when I did that, I must have clicked all of them because it reset my. That's funny. All
So
right.
um, one important thing with the squash and stretch here is we want the squash and stretch curve to match the speed that the ball is moving, because as the ball is moving faster, then the ball should deform more, right? So I need to grab, I need to see that curve. I'm going to grab this, this, and go into this.
Yeah, it's
So,
still not letting me save. Like I went back
oh, you're
and
still
tried it
not.
with the movement, and it lets me save a keyframe for movement, but not for stretch. I have no idea why.
Weird.
I'm gonna Google it.
Can you still add keys on the movement?
Yeah, yeah.
Try grabbing a different key that you haven't, I mean, a different control that you haven't set keys on yet, and try to add a key to that. Here, I'll stop sharing so I can see your screen. Oh, are you sharing?
Yeah. What did you want me to? Oh, you're right. I have to reshare. Which one did you want me to try?
Just like that middle arrow, or try moving that and setting a key and hit S.
Yeah, my S key is
So
oh, broke.
it is the S key that's broken. What is that yellow line on the bottom of it?
On my timeline? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
grab the red cog control. Let's look at that.
This one?
No, up the control, the red arrow control.
Oh, right.
Oh, we still have that. Oh, that's probably has to do with your caching.
My caching.
All right. How about we just start over? We've only made it 3 keys in.
All right.
What if we just start Maya over? Because I wonder if you grabbed something somehow by accident and keyed uh, a group or a deformer or something that broke it.
Yeah, it's so touchy, huh?
Yeah. So this would be good. There's a couple more people on so they can see the whole process. But
Awesome.
anybody that's watching, if you have questions about, right now I'm taking Caden through the bouncing ball. This is his first time ever animating a bouncing ball, and so we're at the very beginning of it. If anybody has questions about the process while we're going, then just type them in the chat, and we'll try to keep track of that. Do you want to share your screen once you have it up? And
Yeah.
so I do need to hop off at 12:30. Got a call. So we've got about 30 minutes left.
Okay, sounds good. Let me get the back up.
It might have been when we were clicking through like the rig and the layers and stuff. Just don't touch the layers.
Yeah, it might also be a Mac thing. I keep getting this Siri pop up, and I should probably go in the settings and fix it. Because when I use the command button too much, it freaks out.
Oh, that
All right.
happens on Windows too. Like if there's a default setting on Windows that if you hit Control 5 times, then it goes into some
Yeah, like a sticky key mode or something.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll set the first keyframe, right?
Yeah.
Throw this up here.
First key,
Save. Yeah.
go to
Look at
frame
that. It works. Beautiful.
frame 11.
Set that to 0. Yeah. So one click will actually do that.
What?
Oh, nothing. I was just, all right.
And then just drag it up. Oh.
Whoa. What did I copy? That is so weird. And it set another frame. Ah, man, I need to be careful with. Okay, so I copied and then pasted, and oh, that's interesting. So what it did, this is how
Oh.
I ended up with those extra keyframes because I copied the value from this one and tried to put it directly in here just to make it even. But what it did is it set it here. See, it's got that same value.
So are
I
you
don't know
hitting
what I
are you
did.
copying it from the keyboard? Like
I thought I copied, yeah, I
because
thought I
that
copied
doesn't
directly
work.
from this box.
The timeline doesn't work with keyboard shortcuts like that. So you have to right click on it and hit copy and paste.
Yeah, well,
But you
so
pasted
this
it
doesn't
in
work, is
here.
what you're saying. Because
Well,
I just tried to paste it in here.
you'd have to copy the actual value from the channel box. But I don't know what that weird like number thing was that it showed. It's like
Yeah,
hit
so
in translate wide, click up in the channel box and copy that. Uh,
yeah, this is the one copied, but this is the fourth frame. So how do I get rid of this one? And can I just delete the keyframe?
no, you have to right click and hit delete.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then this one. See, so yeah, what I did, I tried copying directly from here. You said you have to use the mouse though.
Up in the channel box, you shouldn't have to.
Weird. I don't know what I did wrong then.
Hit enter.
Something crazy. All right. So we've got that. And
All
then we
right.
try to do the stretch.
Set your timeline now to end at 21 frames.
Okay.
There. And then, yeah,
That looks good.
on the stretch, make sure there's a key set on the first and last frame. So just hit S and go to frame 21 and hit S.
All
And then
right.
on
And then
frame.
frame 10 is it 11?
Actually, let's work with the go in the graph editor and fix your up and down motion first.
Right. What am I looking at here?
You have the squash controls instead of the cog control selected.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, so remember, grab the whole curve and do weighted tangents. Yeah, shrink that down. You want to do the same
Oh,
side. Because so if like both of them do the one on the left or the one on the right, and then
okay. I don't think I can unselect. We'll just restart. How does that look?
looks good.
Oh boy. All right. Um, what do you usually do? Do you just slide this to the side? Where do you keep your graph editor so that
I
it's not in the way?
I just yeah always minimize it and make it big again.
You minimize it. How do you? Mine doesn't have
You don't?
I don't know. Usually there's something up here. What's this? Oh,
Yeah.
weird. Okay.
I don't I don't know why yours looks different than mine. Oh, you're in Maya 2026. Huh.
Mm. The future is now.
You're in the future.
Hmm. All right.
All right,
Let's see if
so
we can do that squash thing now. Frame 10. Yeah, frame 10.
yeah, frame 10, give it a little bit of just a little bit. Yeah,
Two? Or is that
that's
too much? 1.5 maybe?
yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
And then do
And
that on
then do that
frame
on frame
12.
12. Okay.
And set a
And
key
then,
on both of those on the bottom too, just so that it doesn't because we want this ball to stay this shape on frame 10 and 12. So you need to set a key on the bottom squash as well. Otherwise, or just go to 11 and then I'll show you what's going to happen. So
okay.
now grab the top, squash that down, and then go to frame 11 or 10. Watch, it's going to be. Um, oh, why doesn't it look squashed? Oh, I guess we didn't actually move it up and down. We left the bottom the same. So I guess it didn't matter. Okay, good.
What do you mean? What was gonna go wrong?
Just when I do the squash and stretch, I try to keep it centered around the cog, and so I move the top and the bottom squash controls. But you only
Oh, I
moved the
only did the
top,
top arrow.
so it didn't break it. So it worked. What you did worked.
Oh, but if I had, okay, you're saying if I'd done the top and then the bottom on a different one, that would have been bad.
I'm just saying if you move the bottom squash control um, during the stretching as it's falling, then you want to set a key on frame 10 and 12 before it hits the ground. Otherwise, it's going to um, flatten through the ground or flatten.
Oh, through the ground.
Yeah, so it works. What you did worked. So
Okay.
now you're caught up to where I am. So now we need to go into the graph editor and make sure the curves for the squash match the curve for the up and down movement. So if I grab just these two controls, let me know if you don't see mine.
I can see.
You can. Ah,
Oh, should I grab the bottom arrow too, since I didn't use it, or
uh, no, you should be fine. Translate Y. All right. So now we got to interpret this. So this is the the ball falling, like it's at the top and it starts falling, and I want it to hit this one hard and then come out of this hard. So I want the curve to be a little bit reversed. So I'm going to
okay.
grab these weighted tangents. Like this is going to match my the bouncing ball, like the translate Z, because remember it's bigger, and then I'm going to have it fall into this. So then I grab all of these. Oh, and since they're different, since this isn't symmetrical, I need to break these tangents in order to do what I'm trying to do. So if I just grab this, I'm just going to grab all this stuff in the middle and break them, break tangents. And then I'm going to have to move each of these points separately. So just shrink those. And so we're going to have the ball hit, it's going to hit hard, and then immediately in only one frame, it's going to hit this squash and then come back out hard and then go. So this should like keep it more solid at the top. Like
Yeah. The deforming is only
like
like,
like right in here.
yeah, right. Just instantaneous nearly.
And we can add another frame on the bottom if we want. Let's if you right click and do somewhere add in between. Now I got another key here. So I'm gonna set mine to 22 now because I'm gonna have an extra frame. And let's go look at this. Oh, let's undo that. I want just grab all of it. I didn't have my cog control. I want all of it and add a key. So I'm going to copy this key, copy, paste.
Wait, mine didn't.
Mine didn't do
Let me
that.
try that again.
Copy. Okay, there it is. So I don't want the two keys to be exactly the same, but um, so this first one I'm going to make it less squashed. So it's going to be like squash. And we'll see how that feels. Because sometimes if you only have one frame, then it will disappear as people are watching it. Because it'll be like the one frame that they don't see.
I'm getting a warning when I try to add another frame in between.
A warning?
So
What's the
it's,
warning?
I don't know, warning file, content script. It's just a pathway.
What? Let's see. Do you have any of the controls selected?
Controls? No, I was just working with the timeline.
Well, it's not it. What it does is it adds a frame on the graph editor, like between your keys. So you have to have keys on something to add an in between. So you'd want to grab your. I just grabbed all my controls. Yeah, like that, and then hit key add in between. There.
Oh,
So then on frame 12, just
so you wanted,
copy frame 12 onto frame 11 because what it did is it just added a direct in between those two poses. Oh, and that's the same thing mine did. So uh, just grab the red control and the arrow controls, just the ones that you actually have keys on, and
oh,
set it in between.
and wait, so what do you want me to do now with these? Now I copy
Yeah, now copy that.
regular paste, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Frame 11, you do want to have squash. Um, so if you have an impact frame, like say you have the floor, where's the camera? If you have the ball come in, do you see me?
I see. Yeah, I see your hand. Your camera? Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if the. Where did it go? How do I get this back to like so I can see me on the screen? It's so tiny. Um. Okay. Okay. So you have the ball come in. If it hits, if you have a frame where it hits and it is stretched and then you squash it, it'll feel choppy, like there's it's going slow. So instead of having a contact stretched pose, you always want to have the impact pose be after the squash. So it's coming in, like it's up here, and then this frame is already squashed. Unless you have like, unless for some reason you're doing it at 60 frames a second or something, then you might have one that shows like right before it, but then immediately after that it would go into the squash. But at 24 frames a second, you can usually skip the non squashed contact poses and it'll look better. Um, and then as the ball is flying away, you want to have the distance from the ground be big, right? So it's big coming in, squash, and then big, and then as it's getting closer to the top, the frames are getting closer together. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
like as it's falling more and more each frame, and then it's flying away, it's getting closer and closer each frame. Thank you, Hal. Al. Um, so, okay, now I gotta go back and find your stream. So we've got, that's the whole ball bounce um, for that one. So now I think we have a couple minutes we could look at the next one, which would be the ball starting to bounce forward. We're going to give it a little bit of motion. So let's start here. I'm just going to start over. So just grab, or you could either do this in a different file, or you could even, actually let's just move the timeline over and start it over there. So let's start on frame 25 and go to frame 100 or something. Oops. This one. So let's grab the keys that we put, or the controls we had keys on. Frame 1 now is going to be frame 25 that we're starting with. And just set everything to 0, set it at the default so we know there's nothing weird. And now I'm just going to have the ball do like 2 bounces, or 1, 2, or 3. So grab this control again, the red cog. Cog stands for center of gravity. So
Okay.
if usually on a character rig, that'll be around the hips. But on this, I just called it that because it's the center of the ball that we're moving. But just so you know, like when you see that in the future, that's what it means. So start out with the ball over here and go to every bounce we're gonna have this get smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's say it takes 10 frames again to hit the floor, and then it's gonna take what's that, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. And then make it smaller, so like 6 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To go up. 6 frames down. A bounce is symmetrical, so the amount of time it takes to go up, it should take that same amount of time to go back down. So if it goes up in 6 frames, then we need to go down in 6 frames. And then we'll do 3 and 3. All right, so that is our keys. Maybe we'll do one more little one, just barely. Let's go to frame. I'm gonna cut this off at 55 so we just have the bounces. And look at this beautiful ugly bounce. Bleh. So those are all the keys that you need, and then we just go clean it up in the graph editor again. So take this control, open the graph editor. Maybe. Okay. So what we need to change here is this forward direction. I want this to be linear or constant, because when a ball is in the air, can you still hear me, Kaden?
Yeah.
Okay. When a ball is in the air and there's no force pushing against it, it has no reason to slow down. Like, that's Newton's law of energy. What is the law? Motion. I don't. So
Conservation of
con-
energy, maybe?
conservation. like
I don't know.
like the law is that a body in at rest or at movement will stay at rest or in movement unless an outside force is applied to it, right? So when it's in the air, there's nothing pushing on it except wind resistance, and wind resistance is very, very small. So it's not going to hardly do anything. So we're going to just get rid of all the wind resistance.
You just deleted all those points in between on
Yeah,
the red line.
yeah. And
Did you
then
weight the tangents first? I forget.
I didn't,
Or does
but
that matter?
that's what I'm doing next, is
Okay.
going to break this one because I don't want to mess up whatever that was. So break this. Now it's just a straight line. So the forward motion is going to feel better now. And next, I'm going to go in and fix these bounces. So if I grab all of these ones on the bottom, I can just type 0. Now they're all on the floor.
Hmm.
I also need to break them so I can shrink the bottoms all the way down. Okay. And then just make each of these ones on the top flat. And stretch them out a little bit. This gives it some hang time.
Did you break the whole green line?
No, I left the ones on the tops not broken so that I could grow the sides at the same time. But the bottoms I had to break because they're asymmetrical. We got a big one here and a little one here on each one.
Okay.
Another thing, I want this to be somewhat of a straight line or somewhat even on the how much the curve, like how high the bounces are and how much it decays each time. So I feel like that's a little straighter. And this one is just going to be so tiny. Okay. Let's go see what that looks like. settle. Okay. Well, next we could add the squash and stretch. So as it's falling, so when it's at the top, we gotta do the same thing again. So set a key at the top of every bounce because that's when it's gonna be not deformed, right? I think I got it. All right, as it's falling, we want the curve, then we want the squash to follow the arc. Because if I just go like, if I go up and down, oh, not like that. On, say it's here, and we have squash, right? Then it feels weird because it's like flying forward but squashing straight up and down.
Hmm.
So that squash needs to follow the direction that the ball is moving. That doesn't work either. We actually got to start out with the ball. Let's do this. These should actually be sideways up here. So make it spherical at the top. And as it's coming down, the squash is going to rotate. And then here is a squash. So this one is going to be on the floor. Like that. Then this frame. Okay, coming up. And up here again. I think I have a control. The cog control actually would rotate this. I'm doing this the hard way. But this, something like that. And then as it's falling, okay. Lost him again. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Great.
So I've only got a couple minutes, but
All right.
I the homework this week, I have a ebook that I wrote that I want you to go through and try to do all 3 exercises.
Okay.
And then we'll look at them next week. Does that work? So
Yeah, that sounds great.
it's gonna kind of go over everything that we already talked about with the first one, but I talk about some of the principles of animation first. Like I break down some of them a little bit, how they apply to a bouncing ball, and uh, then go into an exercise on applying it to a bouncing ball, and then we do it again, like talk about some principles of animation, and then talk about the bouncing ball. So I'm just gonna give that to you, and then next week we'll just open up the assignments and see if you have any questions from that. Does that work?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, and then I'll try to have the get that ball rigging thing done so that next week we can just hop into that too. But
Awesome.
and if it's not done by then, there's dozens of bouncing ball exercises we could do. We could keep on playing with this for a few weeks and get it down. So let's end the call here. End the stream. All right. See you guys, whoever was watching. Try to do this weekly, so I'll get it on the calendar. Okay, bye. Oh.